Wel, bore da, as one of my devotions for Holy Week, I want to draw your attention this morning to the raising of Lazarus, as recorded by the Apostle John for us in the 11th chapter of his Gospel. I'm sure you're fairly familiar with the story. Mary and Martha were grappling with the death of their only and much beloved brother Lazarus. And they were left also with many doubts as to why Jesus hadn't turned up to heal him. After all, they had sent message to him, giving him plenty of time to arrive and perform a healing miracle. But somehow Jesus chose to linger and not hasten to their desperate request. And John 11:4 tells us why Jesus lingered. On hearing, Jesus said, "This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of Man might be glorified through it." We know later that Jesus did go to raise Lazarus back to life, but not before allowing his sisters time to question him and also time to grieve and weep, having lost their beloved brother. And here are a few thoughts on this Holy Week 2021 that we can learn from this story as we seek to deal with this coronavirus pandemic. The first is this: we may not know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. You see, Mary and Martha both trusted that Jesus would come and heal their brother before he died. They just had no idea why Jesus would let him die. They couldn't understand what God was up to in all of this. And during this time of pandemic, we too, like them, may be asking the question, what are you up to, God? Why are you allowing us to go through this? Why have we seen some of our families and friends suffering with this disease, this awful virus that has hit our world? Why? And we don't know what the future holds. But listen, we do know who holds the future. Just like Mary and Martha, we ask our whys, but God knows the future. The second thing we learn is this: Jesus resurrected Lazarus, but he was a different Lazarus. You see, having faced death, having gone through that valley of death, and then being raised back to life, Lazarus didn't live a normal life. He was someone who had stared death in the face and was now alive. He had come out of the grave. He was a different man. And can I suggest to you that we too must be different, having gone through this pandemic, having stared death ourselves in the face, seeing so many losing their lives. We can't come out of this unscathed, untouched. I'm sure we have all put everything in perspective and seen what is important. Health is more important than wealth. Family is more important than career, and so on. And so we're not going to go back to normal when this pandemic is all history for us. But let's go back and create a new normal. where we are more considerate, when we put others first. Because you see, through this, I'm sure God has woken up the world to realize that one another, we are more important than things and pleasure and the trinkets of this life. Yes, he wasn't the same Lazarus, and I trust that we and our churches would be the same when this pandemic would have been over. And then the final thing we learn from this story is this: their faith was tested and their trust was proven. They still believed Jesus, although they couldn't understand what he was doing. And they still trusted him. You see, a faith that can't be tested can't be trusted. And when following God, trust is a must. And so in the middle of all this pandemic, we don't understand it, but we still trust in God. Have a great day. Pob endith.